I'm not capping. This platform is gonna pay you real bucks. I'm not capping. If I'm capping, I'm gonna tell you I'm capping. I'm not capping. This platform is real. 5,000 US dollars for a lifetime. Oh my gosh, crazy. Now, you first of all, you need to stick to the end because I'm gonna tell you how to sign up on the platform, what the platform wants, and how to excel on the platform. First of all, it's an audiobook platform. You don't want to miss out. I'm gonna tell you how you can be a contracted audiobook writer on this platform. First of all, even if you don't like writing, you hate writing, don't scroll past this video because I'm here to help you find yourself in writing. Go and check out videos on my channel. They are mind-blowing. They're gonna set you on a journey to increase and level up your writing game. All right, now even if you don't like writing, just come to sit back. I'm gonna help you. All right, Abi, are you not here for the box? Don't you want to make the money? Don't you want to make a lifetime revenue? I leave you to answer. Now, first of all, you need to apply for this platform, but before you apply, you need to get signed under me and sign up on the platform with the link below in the description box and the pinned comments. You want to quickly go and sign up so that you can start making your own money. All right, now first of all, I'm going to tell you the genres this platform is accepting. They accept billionaire, romance, fantasy, werewolf genre, sci-fi, whichever genre you know how to write. You want to go and put it out on this platform and start making your money. Now, one thing you need to know in this platform, there are some rules and regulations you need to follow, and the first one on my list is you need to know how to write long novels. Now, that should not scare you. Because you're gonna be getting value for your hard work. Do you get me? Because they're gonna pay you daily. Yes, they're gonna pay you daily. You're gonna see your payment reflect on your dashboard daily. They're gonna pay you $10 daily for every 2K words you write, and once you can write for 10 days without missing an update, they're gonna pay you, they're gonna increase it to $12.5. all right, I need to wear my glasses now because it's getting juicier. Now they're gonna increase it to $12.5, and that is mind-blowing. But first of all, you need to know some rules in this platform and how to excel on the platform. Now, when you sign up, when you already have your story, you now want to apply for a contract. We have two types of contract. We have the incentive contract and the revenue share contract. These two contracts is still going to pay you for a lifetime, but one is very good and one is not really good to get. All right, and that's what the one I love very well is the incentive kind of contract. Even if you don't understand, just pay attention, you will get the logic. All right, now the incentive contract is where they are going to pay you for every word you write. All right, every 2K words you update. And I'm not joking, this platform has a lot of money. They are ready to squander it on you if only you can stick to the end of this video, guys. Now, once you have set up on this platform, you now want to do the next thing I want to tell you is your book structure. You want to construct your audiobook in such a way. When I say you want to construct your audiobook, the platform already have an AI voice you just pick from, a female voice, a male voice, so you don't need to use your own voice. You just need to go there, pick a voice, a very calm voice, a background music that suits your story, depending on the kind of story you write. If it's a fantasy story, then you will look at the options and make sure your background music you pick is not too loud, so that the listeners can hear the audio, can hear the main voice, the narrator's voice in your novel. All right, now having said that, you now want to do the next thing I want to tell you, your story structure. Now you want to understand how to draft your story structure so you can win their hearts and bag a contract for yourself. All right, now the first thing you want to know is how to construct your novel to order for you to get a contract on this platform, so that you can be among the partner program, you can be among their payroll, their writer's benefits, and you start getting a lifetime revenue from the platform. Now, the first thing you need to know is your story structure. Now, you first of all, please don't come and write once upon a time, dear leave the man. No, that's not the way you're gonna approach this platform. Do you get? Because what you have written in your Google Docs or your WPS will be converted to an audiobook in the platform. So you want to take your time. You want something that someone will come to listen. The thing will something that when someone listens to, the person will be interested to continue listening. So you need to know your craft. All right, now this is what you need to do. You need to sit back, tell yourself, how do you come up with a hook that will drive your listeners into your novel? So you're going to start with a blow punchy hook that sets the atmosphere of your novel, that sets the setting of your novel, that also sets the character's journey, that tells us the character's journey, tell us the main plot of your novel. Make sure your first chapter is doing all these things. Now, this is what I mean. Imagine someone stumble across your audiobook and is listening to it, and the first thing they hear is the rumbling of thunder, rasping voices creeps out from the gloomy darkness. This is a very good way to hook your listeners. If it's a horror book you're writing, or if it's a billionaire romance, you could start with a ceremonial scene. Do you get a ceremonial scene when someone is about to get married, and before you know, a gun shot his head? This is a hook that drives your listeners into your audiobook. Do you get? Now, you don't want to make this mistake of starting your chapter with a character sleeping, waking up, eating breakfast. No, this is not a way to catch your readers' attention, because if you cannot catch your listeners' attention from the very first chapter, they're not going to listen to the next chapter. All right, so you want to make sure that you know your onion there. You draw them into your novel by giving us a hook. Don't forget this. Use a hook in your very first chapter. Don't say it's Pocketfm, because this platform needs your first 15k word for you to apply. I know 15k words might be a lot, but it's actually worth it. Come on, I cashed out $1,000 from this platform. You know how much is $1,000 right now? And you're sleeping on this platform. Come on, use the link and sign up, and let's make some money. But you need to know the rules and regulations of this platform. I've told you about hook. Don't joke with your hook. Don't start any novel, any chapter. Don't start any chapter, most especially chapters in your first 15k word you are applying. Do not start it casually. Filler chapters, nothing is happening, no action is happening. You're just trying to write, you're just trying to update for that day. Just make sure that you are starting your chapters with a hook. Every of your chapters should start with a hook. Do not joke with this. Do not joke with this. Another thing again, your chapter should start with a hook and end with a cliffhanger. End with a suspense. This is the first thing you need to do before you go and start rushing to apply. Sit back, tell yourself, okay, this chapter 1, what is the cliffhanger for this chapter 1? Chapter 2, what is the cliffhanger? What's the suspense? Chapter 3, what's the suspense? Chapter 4, what's the suspense? So you get to your first 15k word. Write down the hook, the suspense. Write down the hook, the suspense of each of the chapters. When you have written the hook, the suspense, so when you want to upload it, you're making sure that, okay, this chapter started with a hook and it ended with a cliffhanger. Okay, I'm on the right track. Chapter 2 started with a hook and it ended with a cliffhanger. I'm on the right track. Make sure you do that for the first 15k words. Why you ending with a suspense? Why you ending with a cliffhanger? So that your listeners will come back and listen. Because if you can retain listeners, you're definitely going to get an incentive contract, which is the best contract. I told you there are two types of contract: incentive and revenue. Do you get me? So you need your incentive contract, all right? They're going to be paying you 22k words, 22k. They're going to pay you for the 22k words you're going to be uploading daily. They're going to pay you $10 to $12.5 for uploading 22k words on the platform. That's if you get an incentive contract. But if you get a revenue share contract, they will only pay you 20% of how much your book earns on the platform. I'm going to give you a breakdown in the description, all right? So do not panic. This video is going to help you a lot. Now, once you have done your hook and your cliffhangers are on point, your suspense are on point in each of the chapters, the next thing you want to do is, when you apply for a contract, this platform say they need 100 active listeners in your episode, in your audiobook, for you to bag a contract, an incentive contract. So what you need to do is, once you have applied for a contract, copy your link. When you apply for a contract, it takes about 2 to 3 days for your story to appear on the platform, like on the app, as an audiobook, so you can go and listen to it. So once you apply for a contract, got your first 15k word, you apply for a contract. After 3 days, go and check the app. If your book is there, copy the link. If your audiobook is there, copy the audiobook, share it on your social media platform, your status, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, whichever social media you have a lot of followers, where that any group you have your friends that are also writers, share it there, so you can get your first 100 listeners, active listeners. So when you now get your first 100 listeners, this will enable the algorithm to push your content further. And remember, when you apply for a contract and your contract passes the review process, the first review process, which is the one your editor is going to email you, yes, after you apply, it takes about 1 week or maybe 3 days, 3 to 4 days, for a specific editor that will be assigned to you to email you and tell you, okay, your book is good, there's no errors in your book. If there's error, your editor will tell you, but if there's no error, she will tell you that there is no error, so you can go ahead updating more chapters daily. Now, if there is error, what you need to do is that you need to fix the error. Don't panic. Fix the error your editor said you should do. Mostly the error they're going to tell you is POV. POV, make sure you don't want to write the word point of view. You don't want to write POV in abbreviation. You want to write point of view if you're going to write in first person POV in that chapter 1, so that the AI voice will not pronounce it as POV instead of point of view. So write it in full point of view. Those are the things your editor is going to tell you. Maybe you did not start with a hook, she's going to complain about that. Or maybe your story is lacking emotions. I'm going to tell you some things you should also incorporate in your novel. Make sure that another thing I want to also say is, hope you're listening. Another thing I also want to say is, make sure your book has emotions. I know you might say your billionaire romance book, your werewolf books, make sure the storyline is emotional. Yes, you can make your story emotional, because you know what, something someone is listening to, these listeners needs to get emotional when they are listening to your novel. So before you rush and go and apply for a contract, go and put your novel there, ask yourself, is my novel emotional enough to make listeners feel for my characters and come back to listen to my novel, to my audiobook? I keep saying novel. Now you need to ask yourself this question: is your novel worth people coming back to listen? And how do you do that? By making it emotional, by making them fall in love with your characters, fall in love with your male lead and your female lead, fall in love with the protagonist, the antagonist. They just love everybody's personalities, unique voice and tones, and just put yourself in their shoes and just relate it, to make your story relatable. Maybe if a woman is pregnant with twins and she's being maltreated by her husband, her love interest is her enemy. So just think about something that is relatable and try to drag it into your novel so that you can stand out and get a contract, because this is a lifetime contract I'm talking about here. Do not play with it. All right, now the next thing you want to do, once you have gotten your hook, you've got your cliffhangers on point, you have gotten your you've made sure that you've taken note of the fact that your story needs to be emotional. The next thing you want to do, and you have shared your story to your friends to go and listen, to get your 100 active listeners, the next thing you want to do is, after your editor must have emailed you, keep updating your work. Keep updating. This is gonna push it to the new arrivals portion in the app, so people, for more visibility. So you keep updating your work, and you can find out about the platform's Discord group. Join the Discord group and join their Facebook group, so that you can post your work there. There's an avenue for you to, a provision for you to post your audiobook in the Facebook group, so that other people will go and listen to it, so that you can get more listeners. Because more listeners retention, more they're going to review your book on time and finally give you the final verdict that will now determine if you are going to be given a revenue share contract or an incentive contract for the platform for your book. You get. Now the next thing you want to do, that I see many people they make this mistake, is putting two POVs in one episode or in one chapter. You don't want to do Victor's POV and Emmanuel's POV in one chapter. Please, if you don't understand what writing is, just go and check my videos on my channel. You will understand. All right, I'm trying to break this thing down for people that understand what writing is all about. All right, now you just want to make sure that you don't put two or more POVs. If you're writing in first person POV, you don't put two or more POVs in one chapter. You want to avoid that very, very well. I've told you need to end with a suspense in every of your chapters. The next thing you want to do is you want to come up with a plot twist. Make sure this plot twist happens in your first 15k words, so that your editors will be like, wow, this story is going to make sense on our platform. I didn't see this twist coming up. Wow, I need to give this babe, I need to give this guy an incentive contract. Do you get me? It is not hard. You're the one that is not doing it very. You're not taking your time to follow all these things I have said. Do you get? If there's a contest going on Pocketfm now, I will advise you, if you're not a professional yet, do not put your book in the contest. Do not put your book in the contest. That will only make you not really get the contract. Yes, that one. If you're not a professional, you're putting your book on the platform, you're struggling with 10,000 people that also are trying to put their book out there on the contest. So just don't apply on the contest if you know you're not capable, you're not fit, you're still a newbie writer and a frustrated intermediate that's trying to just make money. Then just put your book normally, apply normally. Don't put it on the contest, whatever. That's the whatever. Do you get me? So just apply normally. The next thing you want to do, keep updating. update to 2K words daily. Do not update filler chapters. Keep updating every day. Make sure every day you wake up, you update your 2K words. Make sure every day you wake up, you update your 2K words. Make sure every day you wake up, you update your 2K words. All right. Now, another thing I see many people make mistake that make you not get your contract or not get an incentive contract is that's it. Your character development wasn't properly done, and that is why you're making this mistake because you don't know what I call the 3-art structure. I've taken my time to teach the 3-art structure in my GIT-WEB masterclass training on Telegram. If you're not in that training, you're missing a lot. There's no two ways about it. You will keep getting rejections on even the cheapest, most easiest platform, which is Pocketfm, that people are bagging contract. You keep getting rejections if you're not in my community. There's no two ways about it. You need to know the 3-art structure so you can structure your novel that way. You need to have the start setup, the confrontation, and the resolution, because that will help your novel come up with a good plot. You will not get drained out with ideas, because this is a long story platform. This platform wants long stories. So if you don't know what I call the 3-art structure, you will not be able to write long novels that you will not experience writer's block during a point in the novel, because you actually took your time to plot the novel. You get me? So you need to understand the 3-art structure and incorporate it when you want to apply on Pocketfm. Do you get me? You need to understand the 3-art structure, and you need to make sure your character is developing. Character development is one thing, because at the end of your first 50K word, if your editors cannot see the character development vividly, they're not going to give you an incentive contract. What do I mean by character development? Being able for your character to transform from one point to another. Your character was weak at the start of the story. Make sure your character, even if your character doesn't become strong in your first 15K words, you want to make sure that you are creating an avenue that, okay, you're telling the listeners, okay, this character is on a journey towards getting strong. Do you get me? Not the character was weak and the character was maltreated for 15K words. You're still maltreating the character. There's no sign of she's gonna grow. There's no growth. There's no avenue for her to grow. Your story is getting nowhere. You get a contract of only revenue. Do you get me? So you need to make sure that your story is plotted properly. Do you get me? Even if you have a good story idea and you don't write it very well, you're not going to find success on this platform. Do you get me? Do not rush. Make sure your story is plotted properly. There's a lot of drama, conflict, enough conflict, emphasis on enough conflict. I tell my students something. I say, before you apply on this platform, make sure you take your time. Write down all the conflict that's going to happen. If you're applying first 15K way, that should be approximately 14 chapters. Make sure you write down all the conflict in these 14 chapters. Write them down. What will happen in this character, between these characters? What are the conflicts? What are the core struggles in your novel? If your novel is about payback, if your novel is about divorce, restart. Make sure you don't answer that core struggle on time. You prolong it. You make it linger, adding more tensions, adding more spice, adding more other things that's going to keep readers and listeners coming back to listen. Because the key thing in Pocketfm is being able to retain listeners. Retain listeners. Can you retain listeners? You're bagging an incentive contract. That's just the bone of contention. Can you keep people coming back to listen? Once you can get people to come back to listen, you're good to go. Once you can do this consistently for the whole first 15K words, you're good to go. Do you get me? Once you can do this for the whole first 15K words, people will be like, wow. The way you've gotten the contract, you can now slow down the pacing. Do you get? But by that time you're pursuing to get the contract, everything should be going, because you need the views. You need people to be like, wow, I cannot stop checking up on this novel. I want to go and check if the author has updated for today. Do you get me? Because you know your own. You're giving them what they want. You're giving them drama, conflict, stakes, tensions, villains. So please, make sure you don't miss out on all these things. If not, even if you apply for this platform, you will not find sources because you're not doing it properly. So these are the things you should be doing. Don't be lazy. This platform is not for lazy people. You need to understand this concept. Do you get me? Understand this concept. And let me now tell you some of the tropes that do very well on the platform. If you're writing a vampire story and your vampire story doesn't have a love interest, doesn't have a goal, a personal internal conflict that get listeners emotional, trash it. You're not going to get a contract of incentive. Take my word or leave it. Your vampire story, like, treat your story like a character is on a journey towards growth. That's the first approach you should know in any platform you're going to write for. Whether Pocket FM, good enough, whatever platform you want to go and write for, treat it like your characters are on a journey of self-development towards growth. Do you get me? So even if the vampire story you're writing, make sure that vampire has fears, emotions, has things that bothers it, internal conflicts that will challenge that vampire to grow, to come out of his comfort zone. Bring some things that's going to challenge that vampire, challenge that mermaid, challenge that shapeshifter. Don't just give us this overly cliche, whatever kind of stories. Pocket FM is going to give you a revenue share contract only if they see your story is just generic, cliche, it's not really unique. You did not come down to plot it. They will know if you just rushed. Do you get me? It should have a driving focus. Do you get me? It should have a core struggle. Don't just give us divorce plots, rejection plots. You're just dragging so many plots because you want to write a long novel in just first 15k words. The people will think you're confused. Your story does not have a specific trope. It's just all over the place, and you want to get a contract. You will not get a contract on this platform. Take my word or leave it. Do you get me? So you need to make these people know the ideal. That's why most editors change titles of some readers, of some authors. When you read your first 60k word and what you are writing is not correlating with the title you claim to give it, they will change it for you. They will change your title. I've had many people complain that Pocket FM changed their titles because you were not writing, you were not doing the right thing. If you were not doing the right thing, they will change your titles. They will give you something else that they feel the story. So you need to, most times before you even title your novel, finish your first 20k words, 15 to 20k words. You will now understand the core struggle of your novel and title your novel according to the core struggle. Don't just give it a random title because they're going to change it. People that have sense, that knows what writing is all about, to read it and be like, this is the main title for this novel. And once your title is changed, that's already red flag that you don't even know what you're doing as a writer because you rushed it. Do you get me? So I've told you so many things. Make sure you come up with stakes. What are stakes? Stakes and conflict. Enough conflict. Enough villains that's going to be introduced at some point in the novel. Write all these things down. Write it down. If your editors if they see a book that has potential, they will know. If I'm reading a book and I see this book has potential, it will do well on my platform, they will know. They don't want books that will not do well on their platform. And the only way you can convince them that your book will do well on their platform is by making sure that people can come back, retain listeners, let them come back, make it so juicy, make it so intense that people will be like, wow, I need to go and check up this novel, I need to come back, I need to read. When they see that traffic driving to your novel, they will be like, wow, let's review this novel. This novel will be good on our platform. This author is on track. Let's give the person an incentive contract. Do you understand? Don't rush it. You're rushing. For good novel, you calm down. When you want to write for Pocket FM, you're just throwing everything. Thinking it works like that. Then you now finish throwing, some people will now go and relax. 2 days, 3 days, will not update. You will now come to my DM to disturb me that they gave you a revenue share contract. So please take note of all these things I have mentioned. And you will see yourself bag an incentive and a revenue share contract. Sometimes it takes time, 2 to 3 weeks, 1 month, they are still reviewing your book. Don't even think about it. Still keep updating. Take it like a passion. Still keep updating, because once you get into the partner program, once you get into the writers program, they're gonna be paying you for life. Yes, they're gonna pay you for life. As long as your book is there, they're gonna pay you for life. Crazy. They're gonna pay you into your Pioneer account, in your GPay account. I think Grey, they also accept Pioneer account. I don't think they accept Grey, but Pioneer and Grey. I use GPay to receive payment. I haven't received payments recently I received my payment from them recently. So this platform works. Do you get? But you just have to sit down and craft your novel. Go and listen to popular novels in the platform. If you find out that most novels in the platform has a core struggle. If you look at this novel, Saving Nora, in the platform, you find out that Saving Nora in Pocketfm had a core struggle. Do you get? The story started with an emotional scene that drives, because people are emotional. If I'm listening to something and it's not emotional, I will not listen again. Make sure you avoid sexual stuff in Pocketfm. I need to talk about this. Do not put anything sexual on the platform. In fact, if your first 15k word is a sexual stuff, go and remove it now. Because that alone will make your editor be like, go and change chapter 2. Chapter 2 had sex in it. Remove it. We don't want sex in our platform. They don't want anything sex, any profane words. They don't want any vulgar words. You bullshit, motherfucker, all those kind of words. You want to avoid it when you're writing. In fact, when you even put it on the platform, it will show yellow. And when you're editing your work, when it's showing those blue lines for you to edit it, those ones that are showing yellow means that you should remove it. It's not allowed on the platform. Do you get me? So this is all for this video. If you have questions, you put it down in the comment section, and I will see you all in another episode of Victor Daniel Balloon channel. Now make sure you hit on the red subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can keep getting updates like this. All right, now to sign on this platform is on the link below. You get signed under me and join my community immediately for me to guide you through the rest of the processes. All right, now see you in my next video. Bye.